This video is about setting this up for a quadcopter, and I also talk about the radio itself. It's very easy to set this radio up for quadcopter. All you need to do is to create a model, and which is the same for every individual models that you have, and then you just copy and paste the model, and then you just change the protocol and bind it to your quad. So it's not very hard for setting this one up for quadcopter. You don't have to worry about any other function of the OpenTX. That's all I normally do. I just copy and paste and then reuse that model for all my other quadcopters. And in terms of using this, I have used this to fly my UZ65 at the back of my house, and also I used that to hover in my garage. And the sticks are really good and it flies really well. So that's my first impression of this radio. So this video is mainly talking about setting this up for quadcopter. So I hope you guys like and enjoy this video. Please like and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Just remember, quadcopter is not rocket science. See you next time. So this Radiomaster TX16S is basically this jumper 4-in-1 multi-protocol module built into this transmitter. The transmission power is the same as the module, which is about 22 dBm, and as you can see, the antenna is shorter in this external module than the one that's on the radio. So if you change the antenna, you can make the transmission roughly or more or less the same. So I think because of legal requirements, they have to put a smaller antenna on their radio. The transmission power is roughly the same with this radio 4-in-1 module and this external module. This one has the same amount of switches as the Taranis X9D Plus, except that this one has the 6-position switch here, the buttons here, as in comparison to the Taranis QX7. The Taranis QX7 has 2 less switches than the Radiomaster TX16S, and it has the same dials, but this one also doesn't have the sliders on the side. The Radiomaster TX16S has 2 extra trim switches, whereas the Taranis QX7 also has only 4 trim switches. In comparison to the Taranis X9D Plus, they have the same number of switches and the sliders on the side. This is like up and down sliders. This one is different. This one is back and forth. And as you can see also, this one has 2 trim switches left, and this one doesn't have the 6-position switches. TX16S has 1 module bay at the back, which is the same as the X9D Plus, and also the same with the Taranis QX7. This one has the full color and touch screen. This one has mono color or black and white screen, and Taranis QX7 has also the black and white screen, which is slightly smaller than the S90 Plus and also quite a bit smaller than the TX16S. Buttons layout on the TX16S. You can see this one has the system button, this one has the model buttons, this one has the return and page up, page down, and telemetry, and this one has a scroll and click wheel. This one has menu button, page, exit. So in relation to page, you can page forward, like pressing it once. If you want to press page backwards, you have to press and hold. And this is up and down for selections. And this is enter, this is exit. So this one doesn't have a scroll wheel. This one has a scroll wheel. And this one has a different layout for the exit page and the menu button. This case is more plasticky, but it has quite a heavy weight on this transmitter, and it feels quite premium, although it feels a bit plasticky. So when I first opened this up, I thought it was like very toyish type of plastic, but after using it for a while, I find that the plastic, I got used to it, and it feels more premium now. So this one also has a neck strap holder, just like this, and also like the QX7. The switches feel quite okay. It feels very similar to the Tyrannis switches, and hopefully the switches and the sliders will last. I don't have any issues with any of this not working. The only problem with the TX16S is that when you actually set up your software, this one is not really very center, so it's slightly off center, and also the sticks are slightly off center. So that's why the software itself provide I think a pen or an S4 of around 4 in value for the center sticks here. The gimbals, this one has Hall sensor gimbal. This one has the normal potentiometer gimbal, just like the QX7. It also has this potential gimbal. So the standard gimbals is more ratchet. You can feel it's stiffer. You can hear the sound. Whereas the Hall gimbal sensor is more smoother, a bit more premium in relation to the gimbal, but it may be a bit too smooth for beginners, because for beginners you like to have a bit of ratchety feeling and a bit of stiffer sticks, because with stiffer sticks it helps you to not push the sticks too much, and it helps in stabilization of your quadcopter. It's much easier to fly. But having said that, it doesn't mean that you cannot fly with a Hall gimbal sensor. You just need to get used to that. This one has the full travel gimbal, and it is a little bit more travel than the S90 Plus and the QX7 by about a millimeter or so. So which means that when you hold your sticks, you have to push it a bit further to make it move to the end of the side of the gimbal. The height of the sticks, this one is about a millimeter higher than the sticks for the S90 Plus and also the QX7. The higher the sticks, the harder it is for you to move to the side, but I do get it why they put higher sticks, because it's good for farmer to have more control when they actually fly in the quads, and it's harder for pincher because you have to hold and support the radio while you're moving the sticks to the side. So it's harder to do it that way with pinch. I have seen videos doing modification to the sticks of this gimbal by taking this off and drilling a little bit inside the sticks to remove the thread, so that you can then screw it down until the end of the travel of the sticks here. You don't need to do that. What I found that you can actually fly pinching by not just going pinching at the end of the sticks. Rather, you can adjust your pinch according to how big your hands are, and then you just go along the sticks. Instead of pinching on the top of the sticks, it may be too high for some, just go downwards and then pinch here. Whatever position that's comfortable for you. Same applies to the other side of the sticks. So I have a video that I tested my theory, which you will see as part of this video, that I actually moved my fingers up and down the sticks to find the comfortable position for myself, because I have very small hands, as you can see. So I need to go a bit further down, so I pinch like that. So I don't want to modify the sticks in any way, and I find that it works really well. You will understand when you see my video. So this radio is actually very good for thumber. The reason why I say that is because the grip itself is built for thumber to rest the fingers here. Let me show you what I mean. You can rest your finger like a pistol grip here, your index finger, and the rest of your finger you grab onto the rest of the grip. So you can hold this very stable like that, and then you thumb. So let me show you. So as you can see, it's very stable, even without a neck strap. This is very stable. In relation to pincher, there's a bit of a problem. You can see with thumber, when you hold your radio like this, your fingers are well away from all the switches, and it's not a problem of you accidentally flicking off a switch and disarming your quad. With pincher, here's the problem. When you pinch, you need to support this with a neck strap first, and because this one is a heavy radio, it's very balanced when you put a neck strap, and you just rest this on your belly. So in order to hold this for pincher, you can see that you have the switch here and the slider here. For pincher, there is a slight problem with accidentally flicking these two switches and the slider here. Same with the other side. Let me show you what I mean by that. So to pinch, that's how you normally do it. You need to rest your finger at the back to support a little bit of the weight of the radio, and also to make this stable. So this finger, you have to rest somewhere here. So you can see that potentially you'll be touching these two switches and also the sliders. And then the rest of the fingers will be here. So this one, middle finger, you can put it somewhere here to support, and you won't hit the switches here. Same with this side. You rest your pinky finger here and here, and the rest here. You need a neck strap to actually pinch properly, so you need to raise your finger up a bit, and then you pinch like that. So for pincher, potentially here, the switches, you have a problem here and problem on this side. So if possible, what you need to do is you need to make sure that you don't set any function on these three switches, and also here. But this one is fine. This is a momentary re-switch. So I usually set this as a reset button for a switch for my timer, so that's fine. So if you can, don't assign any function to all these switches here and sliders, because you have enough switches at the front for your need for a quadcopter. So let me go through what really you need for the switches for quadcopter. So for myself, I usually have an arm switch here, timer reset here on the momentary switch. Then I have beeper here. Then I have the mode switch here. And the most amount of switches that you normally have for quadcopter is basically arm, a timer reset switch, a beeper, mode switch. I also have the throttle limit here on the, and then you also can set up turtle mode and A mode switch. So you can either do your arm here and then don't assign anything to the back except for the timer reset switch. So this radio also comes with USB-C port up here for data transfer and also updating your radio. And this one is the trainer port, I think. And at the bottom here, you have another tab that you can open up. So you can open up the tab here, and you can see there's another USB-C port here. This is for charging, and this one is the SD card. And I think these are some kind of I don't know what they call. I think it's UART or something. It's for potentially other application which I'm not familiar with. And the battery tray is at the back, where you can put 18652 batteries inside there. You can charge through the port here, and this one has a form here so that when you close the lid, it will press down the battery tray, and so that it will move inside. So this is the module cover here that you can take off and put your crossfire or other SJT type of module here. It also has this cap here that you can remove so that you can run your LiPo battery ST30 type of connector inside your battery tray if you use a LiPo, and this one will go up to here if you have the full size crossfire that requires power from your battery. So you just need to cut this out. So the grip is pretty thick. Like I say, it's good for thumbing and it's not so good for pinching, but you can get away with that by holding your transmitter like I suggested earlier, and you should be fine. And so this is how you turn the radio on. Press and hold for a few seconds.
Welcome to OpenTX.
Okay. This radio is powered by OpenTX, and it's a version that's made for Radiomaster TX16S. So this screen is a touch screen, but the OpenTX software now currently doesn't support touchscreen. So eventually, I think with the OpenTX 2.4, it will support touchscreen. So in relation to the OpenTX for this radio, it's similar to the standard OpenTX type of software that you can see on other radio, like the S90 Plus and also the QX7. In order to create a model, basically with Quadcopter, you only need one type of model which is to support all your switches like I mentioned earlier, which is the arm switch, and then mode switch, the beeper, turtle mode, A mode, throttle limit, and then you just basically then copy and paste the model when you want to use it, and it's just that the protocol is different when you bind it. So let me show you how to set up a model. You click on the scroll wheel on the side, and then it goes to model select. You click it once. Model that comes with this radio is called Aero, which is I rename it as sample. So that's created for plane. This OpenTX only have plane and glider. So basically what you need to do, you just click on this model, you just duplicate the model. So I've already done the model, so I won't go through the process. So I just show you the model that I have already created. So I've already selected the model here, the UZ65. So what we need to do is just return to the main screen, and I show you what I've set up. So if you want to move to the model screen, you just press the model button on the right hand side, press it once, and then you can see the model. So you can see on the screen now there's the SF button that's pointing down. That one I use it to set the timer. So which means that once I press the SF switch on the top left hand corner, then the timer will start because it's already set. And then you just click again. So if you want to use other switches, you can do that, but just basically flip the switch, select, and then you go to the other side, and then you set the timer, and then press OK. And then you use the scroll wheel to press return first, yes, scroll down. So I set the voice countdown, the countdown to voice 10 seconds, so it will count down the last 10 seconds of the timer. I don't think I set anything other than that. Or with the internal module, you have to turn it on and off here. And then you have to save the fail-safe mode to no pulses. And then let's go to the next screen. I don't do anything with this page. I don't do anything with this page. So with the input, this one is AETR. So that's how it looks like. This is default because the module comes with AETR. Then you go to the mixers. So you don't do anything. Aileron, elevator, and throttle. With the throttle, I set the S1 knob for throttle limit. So you have to click and then edit, and then you do this, and then you turn the knob, and then you don't do anything else. So let's return, and then with the other one, you have to put insert after when you click on the throttle. Then you see the insert before, insert after. So you just click on insert after, and then you can insert the next one and then the next one. So with this one, edit, I can show you. So it's 50% weight and negative 50% offset. That's all you need to do. Then you go down, and depending on how you want to set your other channel. So my SF is my arm switch, SD the mode, SC is for beeper, SA I just activate it, but I don't use do anything with that switch. Let's go to the next page. I don't do anything with this page. You can see that they have set the meter to center 4 points type because the sticks are not center, so they have to do it that way. I didn't do anything with this page. Then logical switches also didn't do anything. I only set the special function. I used the momentary switch SH to flick it up and use that as a reset for timer 1. Once you set up the model, next time you just copy the model and then just change whatever name that you want to put on the next model. So let me go to the model select screen again, and then I can show you. I set one for HB65 and also one for Crossfire. And then if you want to check the system, then you have Crossfire, the script. Then the date, you just adjust your date and your battery. For the system, you just make sure that it's mode 2 and AETR. So if you want to bind your quad, what you need to do, you just press the model button again, and then you scroll to bind. You just select whatever protocol that you require and just turn this one on and go to bind and press bind. If you want to turn this off, the internal RF off, you just click here and then go inside and then scroll, and then you can off it, and then you can turn the external RF, you can turn it on, and then you can use Crossfire or other type of module at the back of the radio.
30 seconds. 20 seconds.